From Force 13 HQ, this is April 20th, 2017. Here's your Tropical Weather Bulletin. Happy Thursday. 1L is active in the Atlantic. Subtropical Depression has formed in the last 24 hours and has only a few more hours to show us what it's made of before being absorbed. We also have what's left of Tropical Depression 2W, located just off the northern tip of the Philippines. Yes, it's still alive too. But our main feature tonight, of course, is Subtropical Depression 1 in the Atlantic with 35 mile-an-hour winds and 1,000 millibars. 32.4 degrees north, 39.7 degrees west, and there it is in the middle of the sea, basically, heading in the general direction of the Azores, but it's not going to get there. The storm's expected to move towards the north and then towards the northwest before being absorbed by another extratropical low, as you will see on the forecast here as the system moves towards the north and then hooks towards the northwest, and there it is being absorbed. That's within the next 24 hours, so Subtropical Depression 1 has very little time to actually do anything. There is a small chance it could become a subtropical storm. We'll wait and see. Here's the full Atlantic Ocean view. You can see the system towards the very top right-hand side of your screen. Elsewhere, you can see there's not too much going on. A few thunderstorms occurring over Cuba and the Yucatan Peninsula. In the Eastern Pacific, pretty quiet as well. A front passing through there by the looks of things, north of Hawaii. But the eastern area there where we look out for our possible first storms, no signs of it yet. But wait a month or so and we may see some positive signs there soon. In the Western Pacific, you've got a new extratropical cyclone, a large influence on that one, and it's tongue towards the south, extending all the way to 2W, which is just off the northern coast of the Philippines. Not looking too bad, actually, with some convective outbreaks going on. We'll get a closer view of that soon. Because some of the servers are down on NOAA and whatnot, we're having to use different imagery for the Southern Hemisphere and Indian Ocean views. You can see an area just off the northern tip of Australia there going on, and in the Indian Ocean, if you can squint your eyes to the distance over there, there is a little disturbance over there as well, but we don't expect that anything will occur in the Southern Hemisphere. So, the sea surface temperatures right now, very much the same as they have always been in the last few days. Eastern Pacific very warm, the Atlantic warming up nicely, particularly the Caribbean, especially around Jamaica and around Honduras. And then moving into the Indian Ocean, very warm in the western half, and in the Western Pacific also beginning to boil in the south and also in the South China Sea. Where 2W is, sea surface temperatures are around 28. Where this thing is, however, though, it finds itself a subtropical depression only with sea surface temperatures of around 20 Celsius, which normally wouldn't be enough to sustain even a subtropical cyclone, but here it is nonetheless, much like Alex last year, an early season storm. But speaking of early season storms, April isn't all that unfamiliar. 1973, 1981, 1992 and 2003 all having development in April, so in a way you could say that we were overdue for an April system, but here is Subtropical Depression 1, convection to the northern side there, off-centre, as you'd expect from a subtropical cyclone, and who knows, maybe it will get 40 mile-an-hour winds. We're waiting for an ASCAP pass in around an hour that may confirm that. Here is Tropical Depression 2W, what's left of it, and it's not looking too bad. It's probably looking the best it has done since it moved through the Philippines several days ago, passing in between the northernmost of the Philippines and Taiwan. And it's going to move off towards the northeast, probably going to become frontal or be absorbed by some system towards the northeast and go way out to sea and become particularly obscure in the next 24-48 hours. It's not going to do much from here, but there it is. So, our totals so far in 2017 haven't changed yet, but if we do get that subtropical storm, unfortunately we don't count the subtropical systems in these particular totals, so I'm afraid these numbers won't be changing for 1L. But there they are nonetheless, 8 tropical storms so far, 2 Category 1s, 1 Cat 2, 3, 4 and 5, one of everything. 15 tropical storms have formed so far in 2017, still a long way away from the other seasons in the 117-year record. 1900 is up next with 31, obviously observations weren't so good back then, so of course that number's going to be pretty low. Here are the full list of names in the Atlantic, the Eastern Pacific, and the upcoming names in the Central Pacific, the next few. Wallaka, the last name there on list 4, which could end up being used this year. But all the usual suspects. Irma will be used for the first time in the Atlantic this year if it gets to I. And there's the Western Pacific names as well, 1 or 2 new names there too. The last time we saw these batch of names was around 2011-2012. The North Indian Ocean there, Marutha we had last week. And here are the Southern Hemisphere names as well. We're still waiting for any more developments down there, but we may well have seen everything from the Southern Hemisphere. We'll wait and see whether it's got 1 or 2 more tricks up its sleeve. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com and its tracker at your service at any time. You can also find us on YouTube. You're probably there already. Search Force 13, all in text if not, and subscribe also if you haven't. It'd be very nice if you did. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Search Force 13, all in text. At Force 13 is the handle on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch. You can also add Fool13 on Skype, FOOL13, and add extension 9094 on Discord for tropical weather chat.